Hi, everybody. Sitting in the car, getting away from the heat. It's 107 degrees in the house. Just wicked out, and it's only 11:30 in the morning. Thought I'd tell you a couple stupid jokes. Now, some of these are kind of off, Don't take them personal. Don't like them or don't. You can tell how much a woman likes you by her feet. If they're behind your ears, good chance she really likes you. Because of droughts all over Europe, scientists are predicting a global shortage of olive oil. Soon the world will know how Popeye felt after the death of his wife. My wife's father moved in and he has one of those electric pacemakers. Every time he sneezes, the garage door goes up. Wow, some of my jokes got cut off here. My wife said, "What starts with an F and ends with a K?" I said, "No, it doesn't." Yesterday, I went to the grocery store and bought a banana, an apple, and 2 eggs. The cashier said, "You must be single." I said, "Wow, how do you know that?" He said, "'Cause you're ugly." My wife told me to stop being an idiot and just be myself. I told her, just make up your mind. Build a man a fire and he'll be warm for a day. Set a man on fire and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. Outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's way too dark to read. A black friend of mine said, "This might sound a little racist, but everyone in the KKK looks the same to me." A lady told her husband he was awful at directions. He got so mad, he packed his bags and right. Little Nancy was in the backyard filling in a hole when her neighbor peered over the fence, interested in what the girl was doing. He asked, "What are you up to, Nancy?" Without looking up, she replied tearfully, "My goldfish died and I've just buried him." The neighbor, concerned, said, "It's an awful big hole for a goldfish, isn't it?" Nancy patted down the last shovelful of dirt and said, "That's because he's in your fucking cat." A lady walks into a pet store and sees a beautiful parrot with a sign on it, the cage that says $10. The lady asks the pet shop owner, "Why is it so cheap?" The owner said the bird used to live in a brothel, so he says a lot of inappropriate things. The lady can't pass up a good deal, so she decides to take the bird anyway. She gets the bird home, and the first thing the bird says is, "Clean up this dump. The new madam isn't bad looking." She finds this amusing. A few friends stopped by to catch up, and the bird said, "New whores in the house, business will be booming tonight." And the girls were shocked, but laugh it off. A few hours later, the woman's husband comes home, and the bird goes, "Hi, Jim." Sorry for all these long ones here. A woman awakes during the night to find her husband not in bed. She goes downstairs to see him sitting at the kitchen table with a hot cup of coffee in front of him. He appears to be in deep thought. She watches as he wipes a single tear from his eye, and he takes a sip of his coffee. She says, "What's the matter, dear?" He says, "Do you remember 20 years ago when we were dating?" The wife touched touched to tears, thinking her husband was so caring and sensitive. She says, yes, I do. Do you remember when your father caught us in the back seat of the car having sex? She said, yeah, I remember that too. Do you remember when he shoved a shotgun in my face and said, you'll marry my daughter or I'll send you to jail for 20 years? Said, yes, I remember that too. He wiped another tear from his cheek and said, I would have gotten out today. They say when you get older, you do start to look like your pets. This morning, my neighbor came over yelling at me for pooping in his front yard. What's made of wood, but you can't saw it? Sawdust. We just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary, and I'm happily married. And I know I'm lucky because 50% of married people say they're unhappily married. Now, that is according to a poll I took earlier this morning. I broke my glasses the other day, and I haven't had a chance to replace them. So I've been drinking out of my hands lately. What can you grab with your left hand, but never with your right? Your elbow. I was at a local grocery store in the Florida department looking for a perfect Valentine's Day arrangement to take home with me. And there was another guy a few feet away doing the same thing, and he was talking, not to me, but at me. He said, man, it's crazy. You have to spend so much money on something that's just going to die. I said, yeah, I know, and you have to buy him flowers too. Nebraska is so flat you can sit on the porch and watch your dog run away for days. I was looking in the Filipino dictionary and everything started with an E. I said that one to my wife, and she just, I get that. I was like, okay, well. She never gets my jokes. A guy goes to a job interview and was asked, what is his worst fault? He ponders for a second and said, I'd have to say honesty. The interviewer said, honesty? I don't think that's a fault. The guy says, I don't give a fuck what you think. An old lady sees her ex-husband in the bathroom spray painting his genitals black. She leans over to him and says, you idiot, you're supposed to turn your clock back. We don't need to be told don't put bacon inside your pants if you're going to tease a pit bull. This is something stupid I heard. I once dated a girl who had a parakeet. Oh my God, that frickin' thing wouldn't shut up. But the bird was really cool.